Is it all because they're multiples of 9 anyway?
So we'll see some stuff about this. It's very mystical, 9, and it's to do with the decimal system. Now, if we were using, so that's called base 10. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0 as a placeholder for the next level up, and you're just leveling up every time. If you do it with base 11, base 7, base whatever, you get a similar thing where the last number kind of repeats itself and does all these other funky things like we've been seeing. However, there's something about base 10 where all of the numbers line up and serve a function, almost like logic gates on a circuit.
Right.
And it's strange to say the least. And the fact that so many people, like the Sumerians, time and all these numbers come from the Sumerians, or probably way before that, but we know it from the Sumerians and Babylonians.
Because they wrote it down.
Yeah. And basically, all this stuff is in base 10, but they're counting in 12s because they realised there was something about base 10, but they're counting in 12s because it's easier. 12, 24, 12, 6, 3. It's just easier to multiply and divide. And if you're doing it 10, you got 10, 5. Oh, where am I going to go? I can't half that again. So the use of 3s, 6s, 12s, base 60 basically, is because of a number. There's one number that's really important to the Sumerians, and it's the reason why it's on base 60, and that number is 5040. That number you just pulled up.
5040.
Yeah, 5040.
Yeah.
And that's because it's ultra harmonic, really divisible, and that's kind of, when you get to that scale of number, it's divisible by so many other numbers. It's got so many other factors in it. It's like this magical number.
And 5040 adds up to 9.
I was going to ask if people used base 10 because they had like
10 fingers.
But then there's something about that, isn't there?
Yeah, well,
we're talking about universal harmonies and things like that. Man is the measure of all things, as they say, and it turns out all these measurements, as we'll see, this all gets into golden ratio and things like that. So we are golden ratio. We are
Vitruvian man.
Exactly, Vitruvian totally fits into that pattern that
a foot is
before.
A foot.
A foot is also, I think, the length between your ankle,
and
your wrist and your elbow,
your cankle,
and well, and L is an old name for Saturn. This limit guy, who's, if you think about it, he's the measurements. He's your
L. Oh, hang on. L is an old name for Saturn. Because L is an old name for God in the sort of Hebrew tradition.
That's Elohim, isn't it? This the whole point in all these presentations. That God, his name's obvious. That God's sometimes called Elohim, means gods and goddesses, which is a reference to Saturn being the king of all the planets. That's what that is. But yeah, like Elites, elevator, the elites. These L words are all the top guys, the kings, the hidden ones. So I've lost my track for the first time since the very first episode.
We were just talking about procession and the numbers, the importance of the numbers. What you find is that these same numbers keep coming up, whether it's 1080 or 1216, is it?
Well, let's do 1080, 2160. What's 1080 to you guys? In
TV,
normal life?
man.
TV, exactly, 2160 is 4K.
I was going to go snowboarding, but...
But yeah.
You've got 432 with middle A.
Yeah,
so
that's Pythagorean tuning. Yeah,
432 hertz.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it got changed to 440 but in the early 20th century, I think.
Yeah,
but
equal
before
temperance. It does make sense. I can kind of see why they did it. It just so they can even out all the keys because there'd be a gap.
Tune.
Yeah, concert pitch. Aside from that, all these numbers, as we said, are beautiful and super harmonic, as we've discussed in previous episodes. It's more like you can add, you can divide it easily, you can multiply it easily. It's divisible by, if you need to divide 5040 by, some 255 or something like that, it probably divides. It's the most likely number to divide by the number. Then it all comes down to base 60, base 60, which the Sumerians were using for time.
It's universal as well. I mean, across language, there's no one who like has an extra number. Like, there's no like Chinese number between 6 and 7.
Mathematics is the base of it's the base of reality. It's mathematics.
It is, and it's good how everyone realizes that.
It works from the very small to the astronomical. Like the Earth's we were talking the other week about the relationship in eclipses between the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon. These numbers are encoded in that relationship. I'm going to forget them, butcher them now, but it's something like the Moon is 432 times the distance between the Earth, to the Earth as it is from the Sun, or something like that. This relationship is built in.
There's quite a few slides on that stuff.
Well, let's not
enjoy that.
Let's not jump the gun.
So, shall we begin the actual slides themselves?
I don't see why not. Here we go.